Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here. Getting a good look at the stage. There is our delightful host, Massimo, just taking over on the stage here at the Lucca Games and Comics Convention here in Italy. This event brought to you by ESL Italy. We have a number of pros. We have 8 entire pros, and we see one of the teams advancing here. It is the green team, led, I believe, by Carnifex, who actually I think is stood towards the back there, actually. So he's letting his team walk in front of him. Maybe use a suggestion for how he's going to be playing it. A little bit of a meat shield with his team. Especially if he picks that Widowmaker that I really, really hope he picks.
He could do. And I would like to see the Widowmaker come out here. There he is. There is Carnifex. And it'll be interesting to see what tactics they go with there. In the previous games, both pros opting to play the tank role. And Hal coming out on top with his Zarya over Minder's Reinhardt.
Now the team that they will be going up against here, so Carnifex will be playing against Numlocked, our fellow Brit, our partner in crime, and he very, very vocally, he's good at Reinhardt. He doesn't necessarily like playing Reinhardt all the time, so I imagine I'll be very, very surprised to see Numlocked playing that Reinhardt. That said, we did see him talking to his team earlier, setting up team roles, so maybe, just maybe, they might have pushed him and said, hey, no, you're like one of the best Reinhardts around, why not play Reinhardt?
get bullied by the community into doing what he doesn't think is best. I don't know, or it could just go the other way around. They could just have the utmost respect for him and his opinions, and we'll have to wait and see. Or they might not understand that just because he plays Reinhardt all the time doesn't mean he can't be incredibly good at McCree or incredibly good at Tracer or Genji or any of the other big carry heroes. And they might not let him. They might be like, no, you're good at Reinhardt.
So
You're
here
only
comes
good
the
at
great
Reinhardt.
team. Getting a little bit lost on the way there, unfortunately, but it looks like they've managed to find where they need to go there. Led at the back there by Numlocked. They will be taking the fight to the enemy team, taking it to Carnifex. Again, I'm surprised that they didn't see the Italians sort of individually separate from each other. The Italians going up against one another, and we do start to get set up here for the next match. Team Grey versus Team Green. If you are joining us, this is 8 teams going against each other. It is a sort of single
Turn this up a little bit,
yeah,
see if we can hear what is being said. Unfortunately, I don't think
we can
that
actually get the
feed comes
interview
through to us, sadly. We just kind of have the music.
Oh no, that's actually sad. And if you're wondering why the teams are wearing the coloured vest, that's just to denote what team they are on, as we do have 8 teams, so they are wearing a variety of colours. I think we have grey, green, black, white, red, blue, yellow, and probably some other colours as well that I've just missed off there, because I didn't name 8. So
well, there is 8 teams, so I'm sure we have 8 different colours. I'm definitely sure that's possible. There are many, many, many colours available to them for them to pick.
We will get set up here very soon for the next game. We did have, fortunately, a little bit of a delay, so I think people are just eager to get into the matches after earlier today. And that is our beautiful Italian casters, but rather than them, we're going to go to us here on the English casting desk. I am Josh, one amongst many Pemberton. That is Max, totally futile, Berzon from the Cynical Nerds. We are bringing you all the action here from Italy. And this wonderful community event here in the, early afternoon now, not so much early morning anymore. It's just
we are very much the early afternoon. If you are joining us, the format of this show is we have 8 pros who have been provided with players to fill out their teams. 5 players have been provided to each pro, so we have 8 teams in total. And we're playing a single elimination tournament here, starting with a best of 8, starting with the quarterfinals. And it seems to be a best of 3. We weren't actually given the exact format, but the first game was a best of 3, so I assume the rest of the quarterfinals will continue as so. Whether or not that will change for the semi-finals or the finals, I don't know. I would expect the finals to maybe go to a best of 5, or maybe
I kind of hope the finals
even
is
a best of 7. But yeah, I very much hope that they do change that up, but we'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow we'll be on the ball. We'll know exactly what's going on because we would have done it all before. That's right, tomorrow we're going to do the exact same thing again, except the pros are going to get new players to play with.
And I still can't believe it. We are here in the lovely, lovely church here. And look at this venue. Can you believe we're seeing Overwatch with these beautiful, beautiful marble engravings and statues in the back? It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, you have the 2 Italian casters there on the screen. Bring it to the live audience here in Lucca. The people who've come to this convention. It's apparently a very big convention in Italy.
It's huge.
I was unaware of it, but it's a really big convention here. So it's great to see.
It's absolutely huge. I was telling some of my friends that I would be here casting the event, and they mentioned it to some of their Italian colleagues at work, and they all went, Lucca Comics Carnifex? Yeah, of course we know this. This is an incredible, big event. It's very cool. So it's absolutely massive over here. And those people that he was talking to, they're not into computer games. They're not into comics. They're not even part of this scene here. But they're very aware of what it was. It's like saying to somebody in the Western world Comic-Con, from what I understand, is if you say Lucca Comics to somebody in Italy, they're as aware of it as we are of Comic-Con.
Now, what is impressive, what I have seen these teams already doing is because these teams aren't the first 2 teams to go up there, they had a little bit more time to talk to their teams. I saw them planning out roles earlier. What are you good on? What are you good on? Selecting out what they're going to play already, trying to pick what maps they are going to pick. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the map draft ourselves. It would be nice to see that. I imagine, I really want to see if King of the Hill does actually go through at some point, because King of the Hill is that more deathmatchy style. It's where a very talented player can definitely take over a little bit more, while Payload and the 2 capture points, although Payload a little bit more team-oriented, a little bit more about that synergy, about getting together. And actually, I was told by the Italian caster during the break that one of the players in the last round, which is Fighter, who was doing incredibly well, is also an Italian pro.
Oh, I see.
So the Italians, they brought backup.
Wow, and that side was not the winning side.
Yeah, that's surprising. We can actually see they're warming up here, so they're using the practice range, getting set up, getting all prepared to go here as we do set up for the event. We should be going very soon. There's Numlocked looking focused, looking ready to go. These pros want to win. I have talked to a couple of the pros, told them that if they do get knocked out in the first round, they are buying drinks for us later.
Fantastic. So great. I'm going to go. My job here is done.
That's the plan, because we can't lose, so we can't get knocked out. So we have easy drinks later, which is wonderful for us at least. Not so much for them.
Oh, of course, but hey, they're pros. It's fine.
Exactly. They're used to being competitive and just having something on the line for them. Of course, the players for their teams do have something on the line. They do win a little bit of prize money if they do make it all the way to that number 1 position. The pros, unfortunately, do not, but they still want to win for pride and for the ability to brag to the others later. It's so important for these guys as they do constantly, take the Michael out of each other, I think is the easy way of saying that.
Take the Michael.
Take the Michael.
Take the Michael, take the Mickey. That, of course, means making fun of the other players, and that is pretty much what it's all going to come down to them. A little bit of pride and a little bit of bragging rights a little bit later on. And, of course, not having to be the ones that have to buy me and Josh beer, because
that's
I don't want to have to buy me and Josh beer. I want to drink it, but I don't want to have to be the one that pays for it. So I'm sure they don't either.
Here we are, setting up. Player's looking focused and ready. He's wondering why the camera's on him, perhaps. There we go. It looks like, no, we are still getting set. Carnifex just getting ready to go. And we should be getting into the game started. I know you guys want to watch Overwatch. I want to watch some Overwatch. Believe me, no caster, and I know pretty much all of them likes being stuck in Overtalk. And we want to get started as soon as you guys do. Can't wait to get this show on the road. There's the beautiful Italian casters once more, but let's flip back to us at the English casting desk.
I always find it a little bit disappointing when it changes from their faces to our faces, because they look fantastic. They're doing a really good job over there, and then it comes to myself and Josh sort of sat here plodding along.
Well, I do recommend it if you do have a chance. Go and watch some of the Italian casts for these pro level games. They're absolutely superb casters. They have tons of energy, tons of drive, tons of passion. What you want out of the Italian language, what it's famous for, is this passion, this energy, this zeal. And it's really worth watching. It gets you excited, even if you don't understand a single word of Italian.
Which the Italian language is amazing to listen to as esports commentary. I really, really would recommend checking it out, even if just for once, because the energy is just absolutely insane. Especially these guys, because they're fantastic as well.
They're absolutely superb. So we should be getting started fairly soon. Unfortunately, like at the English desk, we don't have production in our ear because production would be in Italian. And we don't speak Italian, so we just get confused. Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't tell you exactly how long it will take for us to get into the game, but it should be fairly soon. Don't see any technical issues happening at the moment. I think players are still just getting ready to go.
I can see the corner of one of the players' screens from where I'm sat, so if you do occasionally see me do this, that's me looking at it to see if I can get some kind of idea where they're at. Unfortunately, he's currently on a Windows desktop. No, he's tabbed in. They are...
And we got the maps.
I think they are heading into the lobby. Okay, we've got the maps up
If
now.
you're wondering why you're seeing the Italian cast, it's because they do have the map picks on the screen. So Temple of Anubis will be map number 1, Kings Row map number 2, and Lijiang Tower, so King of the Hill coming into map number 3. So we have a map of every single type. Temple of Anubis as well. Like, a lot of people don't like the 2 control point maps. A lot of pros were very sort of cold on 2 control point for a long time, but Temple of Anubis has sort of come up as the one that the pros like playing the most. There's a lot of good opportunities there. There's a lot of sort of viability for a lot of heroes as well. Like, one thing I like about Temple of Anubis is you do sometimes see like Farah come out, because there's a lot of places where she can sort of hide behind high ground. There's a lot of passageways that she can get through. It is her home turf, so it's only fitting that she should be good on that map. I want to see some Farah, but unfortunately, like, none of the pros that are here today, I think, are that famous for Pharah play. But still, I want to see it. I want to see it. I really want to see it.
Maybe too easy. He's played it a little bit here and there, maybe, but he's not in this game, so he might not have Temple of Anubis, and he might get knocked out in the first round. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I am particularly excited about Lijiang Tower. It's possibly my favourite map as a dirty
You're
Tracer
a Tracer
main.
main, yeah, so that explains why that's your favourite map.
I love control maps in general, but Lijiang Tower especially is just one of my absolute favourite maps. There's so much space as Tracer to move around and get a lot done, and I find the actions a lot of fun to watch as well, and I imagine we'll be seeing.
It's definitely one of the
both
maps that we
teams.
see a lot of good play come out of. I mean, at least like, okay, so here's like the caster story. We're not seeing any more there's no more hero stacking in Overwatch. They put in the one hero limit. We put it in the competitive scene very, very early. Organizations made the decision to implement one hero limit, and part of that was because of maps like Lijiang Tower, where we had 2 Winstons, 2 Tracers, 2 Lucios constantly fighting over the point.
The Jet Set time traveling monkey comp or whatever.
Yeah,
it was
Jet Set time traveling retro future, whatever it is. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane, and it was difficult to cast. And it was difficult to watch, and luckily we got rid of that. And now King of the Hill is just so exciting. It's very dynamic. It's a good chance for big players, these big carry players, to sort of show off just how good they are. So looking forward to seeing that. Looks like Numlocked sending out a tweet, getting ready to go there.
He's letting his fans know that he's about to play. So of course, Twitch chat is about to explode with British support.
Here's hoping. Like I really want Numlocked to do well. He's a nice guy. I got the pleasure of playing with him in Team GB for the World Cup. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to BlizzCon. Sad days for us, but he was he was incredibly supportive. He was very, very good at just telling us, you might want to do this, you're trying this, and you're not doing this, in a very nice way. Like, he was good at coaching us and helping us get through this. So I actually imagine he's probably going to do very well on this team as well, because he is very good at sort of taking people under his wing, sharing his experience, and just being a positive influence on the team as well. So I want to see Numlocked do really well here, as someone who I know personally as well. But that said, Carnifex, very, very storied player, very, very sort of just well-known player from TF2. Very early on in the beta, I got told that Carnifex was one of the best Italian pros around, that he's been playing at professional level with TF2 for a long time. Numlocked, of course, also TF2 pro, also very, very famous TF2 lineage here. And looks like we are starting to load up on the map, so we will be going through this map walkthrough, just because some of the crowd might not necessarily be sort of familiar with Overwatch. I love watching this footage, because this is footage from the early beta.
Yeah.
But not actually before the early beta. I don't remember the beta starting with these sort of control points here. So it is interesting to see a flashback for me, but they're just explaining these maps. So let's talk about Temple of Anubis a little bit.
Well, what would we expect to see on Objective A defense-wise?
I think we're just going to see, normally, at least what pro-level teams would run would be something like the standard Ana comp, for example. The standard Beyblade comp, if you're not familiar with the Beyblade comp, then it is you run Reaper and Ana together, and then generally have something like a Zarya and a Mei, for example. And that gives you 2 very, very powerful wombo combos available, where you have sort of the Blizzard Graviton Surge combo, which is absolutely devastating, but you have the Ana and the Reaper wombo combo as well. And then Reaper just goes in at high speed, spinning like a top with his Death Blossom, dealing 300 DPS and killing absolutely everything. So we should be getting into the game fairly soon. It should just load into it immediately after this. And yes, here we are at wonderful, wonderful sunny Egypt, here at Temple of Anubis. Now, when we do refer to the teams, we will be referring to them by their sort of colors. So if you did see the teams before, they're wearing these colored tops. That's just denoting what teams they're on. Luckily, none of the teams in this match are red and blue, so at least that's not going to be too confusing. We have Squadra, I'm going to just say Gialla, I think that's correct. I think that's the grey squad. And then we have Squadra Grigio, which I believe is green. So we're going grey versus green here, and we do have Numlocked on the green team, and I think it's Carnifex. No, actually, no, that's backwards. Grigio has to be grey, because I know Numlocked is on the grey team.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you're here to clear up these language difficulties. I'm going to run us through the defensive lineup, which is either the grey or the green team, but it is the team with Carnifex. He is the pro on that side, and they have got Crystal Gecko on the Mei, Light Fenner on Zarya. Carnifex himself is running the Reaper, Pepper on Reinhardt, and OWEV 13 Lucio.
I think those are just standard names for
and OWEV 14 is
so
on
just
Ana.
13 and 14, I think we will go with them.
Yeah.
Time Skipper, though, on the offensive with the Lucio. O'Kill on the Ana. Bob, beautiful name, on the Genji. Kabak on the Reinhardt. Jane on the Zarya. And Numlocked, of course, taking over with the McCree, and the camera is just flooding back here. Unfortunately, I'm not in control of the camera, so I can't zoom in to see the action. There we go. We have Carnifex, the Italian pro, on the Reaper. So they're running the standard, like the comp I just suggested before, and they've actually managed to isolate 2 people. The Reinhardts do charge into each other, but this should be an easy kill for Carnifex. Going to get 1, 2, 3 tons of damage done as they try and mill through the choke there. Does get stunned up by Numlocked, but they are just going to be forced to back out there, trying to run for their lives. They don't want to get killed anymore. Don't want to feed this Reaper any more ultimate than he's already got. He's already on 80% right now, and it's just climbing higher and higher and higher. He's going to be ready for the next fight with a Death Blossom, and trying to engage through narrow choke points against a Death Blossom is so difficult. So a good early start there for Squadra Gialla.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in that tight space with the Reaper raining down on you. I mean, they were down to 3 players left, and they were trying to get away, and it always feels bad when you're that Ana walking into the wall instead of the door, but they're back in on the offensive. It's
a good early picks there coming out of Numlocked. Does take out the Lucio as well, so that's going to slow down some of the reinforcements. And stun and sleep dart hitting that ball. Reinhardt going down. This is looking super good for them taking over this first control point. May just stuck a little bit out of position there. Doesn't quite have the defenses to survive, getting surrounded by all sides, and will get taken out there very quickly. So they've managed to take the first point in 2 pushes. Carnifex not having any impact on that fight at all. I think he got picked off very early there, so couldn't able to get that combo going. And unfortunately, 14 on the Ana is still going to be a little bit stuck and not going to have that nano boost, importantly for Carnifex, in any good kind of time. And Numlocked again getting a quick pill there, quick pick there, not a quick pill there, taking Lucio down. So 13 getting removed, but then 14 just takes revenge, gets rid of time skipper on the Lucio. That's going to slow down this offense a little bit more, but it looks like they're just going to try and force the issue here. Can Carnifex find the kills? He's getting set up, does find the Ana in the back. Sleep dart misses, gets a kill on O-kill. Can he find even more as he does start to move forward? High Noon go off. It looks like, no, it's going all the defense's favor right now. They do start to take over everything. 14 removing Numlocked, getting rid of that High Noon there, so no value off the back of that, and the defense holds.
Hey, coming in with the offense, they've got 3 ultimates available for this next push, and there's only Carnifex, although they're going to have the Mayel available and the Earth Shatter as well. In fact, I think it's safe to say the defensive team are going to have ultimate advantage coming into this next fight.
That's it, they have to be careful. Jane is going to be ready with the Graviton Surge, and Bob is also going to be looking to get that Graviton Surge down, and that's a dangerous combo if it goes off. It's very hard to defend against. They don't really have the defenses for it. Numlocked trying to just poke in at the side here. It looks like they're going through this right side. This is the path that most pros do like to take. Has a lot of open ground, a lot of opportunity to start pushing forward. Carnifex getting the nano boost, teleporting in. Can he drop it? Can he get the kills? Doesn't actually quite get it. Gets stunned. The Zarya Barrier just a little bit out of position there. Does pick up Numlocked though, so Numlocked going to be removed. Kabak now has the nano boost here. Does get charged off though, so does get stunned down. And Pepper actually kills him, so does take out the target with the nano boost. This should leave Carnifex just to clean up, just shelling down Jane. Jane actually gets the better of him. Will survive that a little bit longer, but it's taken so much damage that it's just going to be so hard to clean up on the rest here, and I think the defense will hold.
Yeah, the defense will hold. That was a very good aggressive push from the defense onto the stalemate on the choke.
I really like seeing that out of teams. I like it when they just take the initiative and start counter-engaging against the enemy team. And especially when you've got these unfamiliar teams, these teams that might not be necessarily quite used to each other. And Numlocked gets 13 again. Oh, just sad days for 13. I think he's learning what it means to go up against McCree that can reliably land those important shots. But when you see teams counter-engaging, I get so happy. It just means that the enemy team doesn't have that time to sort of take it easy, slowly move forward. They're going, no, the enemy team is just setting up for far too long. Let's go in, take the initiative. It wasn't the cleanest engage, but it was enough to get Carnifex in position, start shelling out some of that damage, and deal with the enemy nano boost as well in really good fashion.
Well, we seem to have gone straight back in here, although the Maywall separates the team and prevents any damage.
Numlocked, can he find it? He's just walked right in and got 3 kills so far, so managed to actually get through there. He's actually got the nano boost on the McCree as well, but can Carnifex find the kills? He's just dueling with this Ana at the moment. Should be an easy win for him as a sleep dart did miss. Carnifex getting a kill there, but Numlocked is still alive on the point. It is so dangerous there. Carnifex coming in. And there's a blizzard as well. This might actually buy them enough time and space. There is Crystal Gecko going down to Numlocked's McCree, and it's trying to pick it up, but the reinforcements come in so fast on Temple of Anubis. You end up in this sort of just constant battle as the reinforcements do stream in. Pepper just going ham though. He goes all the way out there. He's stuck a little bit isolated, but the important thing is here they have secured the point. Although it looks like they might be losing it. The kill feed is filling up with red here, and this is actually a huge opportunity. Carnifex comes in with the Death Blossom and gets 2. Well played there by Carnifex, but gets taken out by Numlocked, and it looks like they actually have done it here. Numlocked just zoning out with the High Noon. There we go. It is secured for Numlocked team.
Wow, I'm not sure what happened there. It did look very much like it was going all in the defensive favor, and then all of a sudden, all the defenders started dying.
Yeah, I think what happened was Numlocked was just sort of left alone on the point, and this guy is good at McCree. He can land the shots, and he was just sort of left there to just keep picking people off as they come out of spawn. And when he's landing headshots consistently, when he knows where the enemy team is coming from, he's just going to start killing and killing and killing and killing. Now the question is, can they do the same thing? Can Carnifex take the assault forward? Can they land the hits they need? Carnifex actually opting for an early pick of Tracer. That could change, of course, at any moment. But with these pros, who knows, right? Like, and I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. Like, I imagine they're just going to lock in these picks very early just to let the enemy team know this is what we're doing. It looks like they're actually running a very standard dive comp here. So they've got the Winston, and then they have the Zarya just to give Winston a barrier, just for that extra tankiness going in. And then they're going to dive super hard with Carnifex and with Crystal Gecko on the Genji. So looking to get some early kills, looking to get some aggression out there. And Numlocked looks like he's picking Junkrat.
Let's have a look at these pro matchups, because in the last game we had McCree, Numlocked on the McCree versus Carnifex on the Reaper, which is an interesting skill matchup. If the Reaper can get close enough to the McCree is just going to get deleted, but McCree has got plenty of ways of keeping his distance and stunning that Reaper if he comes in too close. This time around we've got Carnifex on the Tracer, and this time Numlocked is on the Junkrat. In fact, he's even swapped over to a Torbjorn. Now that's not a good matchup.
That's cheeky. That's just cheeky, Numlocked. No, he's going with his arrow. I think he swapped to Torbjorn to open up space. No, actually, he didn't need to. Still, him on the Zarya is actually a nice pick here. It's a good pick for him. He can play Zarya at a very high level, and it also lets him lead the team from a good position as well. We talked about this earlier. If you missed that talk, then Zarya is a good hero where you can get a good feel of the position of your team. You can take control of engages very easily, for example, and you can easily lead and deal a lot of damage. And if you're good at Zarya and you're landing left clicks, you build up an ultimate nice and quickly, and then you just take advantage from the enemy team with that as well. So it's nice to see. Gabak seems to have dropped his shield a little bit. That is a bug that has actually crept onto live. It's not quite accurate. There we go. He's picked it up again. No problem. It's just
it's heavy, you know, a shield made of light.
So we do have the initial trade. I'm just waiting for Giala to go in aggressively. There goes the Winston. We do see Carnifex coming up to the side as well. Should be able to land a lot of damage. Mercy in a lot of trouble on almost no hit points. Just manages to stay alive. Still getting chased down. There goes O-Killed, though. It is killed, as his name suggests. Numlocked now eating a lot of damage. Tracer actually very good at tearing down Zarya. It's very easy to land a lot of meat shots on that. But got to be careful. And Numlocked actually gets the better and just cuts him down with a right click and the left click follow-up. So well played by Numlocked there. Might be able to secure advantage for his team here as he does take down Crystal Gecko.
That has held it for them. It was a key kill there on the Tracer, because Tracer really could have run amok, and Tracer is usually someone that can deal with Zarya pretty easily because she can buzz about, and it's very difficult for Zarya to land damage on her because those grenades on a target that quick is very difficult, and then of course holding your left click on her while she's moving around is always going to be a challenge.
So we do see changes coming in. Carnifex actually going on to the McCree, but 14 unfortunately gets taken out there by Soldier 76, landing those Helix rockets, getting rid of the threat. Now this is actually dangerous because you've got the Reinhardt fighting in that close area as well, and then you've got Zarya just chasing from behind. Carnifex goes down once more, and it looks like Numlock's team is holding once again.
Good solid hold once again. Numlocked staying on the high ground, dealing the damage from up here and making sure nobody could get through. Although I do think the attacking team were a little bit disorientated there, a little bit disconnected, not really doing anything together and just kind of dribbling in bit by bit, making it very easy for the defense.
Pepper going into the backline, looking for this Mercy, trying to get the damage on. Genji's trying to follow up as well, just trying to hunt down in the back there. It looks like they did manage to get rid of that Mercy, so there's a good threat removed. There's a Graviton Surge, though. Down goes Carnifex once more. Numlocked getting the better of him once again. Winston also frozen, but does actually manage to break out of it. Here comes the Dragon Blade. What can the Dragon Blade find? What can Crystal find? He finds Numlocked there with the particle cannon and just cuts him down once more. Numlocked showing that he has a mastery of Zarya and he's just styling all over the enemy team at the moment.
Yeah, that Dragon Blade was so powerful it blew out the contrast on the camera there. Unfortunately, that's not something we have control over, and we're not sure why it's happening. But we will mention it to the tech guys and during the next break and see if we can get that fixed up.
You know what, I actually kind of like seeing the Soldier 76 here, like on this position where everyone's basically standing in this location. Having that extra healing is quite nice, and when the enemy team isn't quite at the sort of the highest level, you can get a lot of effectiveness out of that Soldier 76. But early picks actually coming out. Reinhardt getting picked off there by Jane on the Mei as they do start to push towards the point. The team will just fall back though. We'll just sort of start regrouping. And Numlocked, no, he's looking for kills. He's hungry for blood. Carnifex tries to blink out, but actually just blinks forward. There is a Graviton Surge coming out, but there's no follow-up. I think they were looking for the bomb combo perhaps. They're trying to get Carnifex out, but he just blinked into a corner, got stuck nuzzling up against Numlocked, and Numlocked said, hello. Hello, love. The cavalry isn't here anymore. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm Zarya.
Yeah, the cavalry is running backwards. I mean, I haven't really got very high hopes for this attacking side right now. They very much seem to be going half the team is going one way and half the team is going the other way. And now they're just dribbling in one at a time.
getting a good early kill there with the Tracer. Did use the Pulse Bomb for that, but Numlocked just saying no more, just grabs everyone with that Graviton Surge. May following up, no problem. We do have the Genji on the point, starting to cap it, but he's going to get chased down here by Numlocked, and the rest of the team is just coming to follow him up. Crystal Gecko taking a brave charge there, charging through the Reinhardt. Well, he's a little bit dangerous. Does have the Graviton, not the Graviton Surge, the Dragon Blade, sorry, ready to go, though, for the next fight. If he can get big results of that, it could be absolutely huge. And I do hear an Anubis going on to Carnifex there on the Tracer. What can he find off the back of that? He finds a Blizzard, so he can't engage on the rest of the team. He has to just juke out of it, and Tracer at medium range, not that effective. So Nano Boost not really getting much off the back of that. The Dragon Blade did come out, but no kills on the kill feed, unfortunately. And there's a sound barrier as well, just buying even more time for this red defending team at the moment. And they should be nice and safe just to clean up the rest of the team. It's looking so solid for Numlock's team right now. I guess the early prep time that they took is really paying off.
Yeah, Carnifex is just not getting done what he needs to get done. If he goes in, he's getting blown up. If he doesn't go in, he's having no effect on the game. He did manage to pick the Mercy at the end, which is, of course, a good priority target. However, it was nowhere near enough to close out that game. And the first map goes over to Numlock's team.
Yeah, Numlock's team looking really solid now. We're going to get to see play of the game. I'm super curious to see who actually gets it. But the grey team does go 1-0 up over the green team here. Numlocked, unfortunately, in a grave in the ending screen. I actually really love those Halloween things. And Numlocked on the McCree was absolutely phenomenal. I really think the problem on that final attack was that no one actually went and dealt with him. Like, they all just started splitting up and going all over the place, but Numlocked just found kill after kill after kill, and then just secured the point here right at the end. You can't contest it anymore, because you know what time it is? It's high noon.
Apparently, it is high noon. Apparently, somewhere in the world, it's always high noon. But I contest that point massively. What if it's 2:15? Where in the world is it high noon if it's 2:15 in the morning?
Numlocked looking very happy with himself there, and I don't blame him. That was a really solid performance out of his team. They just look more coordinated, more prepared, look ready to go. Carnifex's team looking a little bit disoriented. They had a plan, but they didn't execute it, and I think the leadership during the game is that much harder. I think with McCree, for example, you're more stood in the middle of the team. For example, you're more stood, you can coordinate the rest of the team, but when you're playing Tracer, for example, a flanker, it's very, very hard to start coordinating with the rest of your team. It's very difficult to sort of take that leadership role and sort of, lead from the front, because your brain's full of, I've got to do all this stuff with Tracer. And so it's very, very hard.
It's not just that. You don't see where your team is. When you play Tracer, although you want to attack with your team, like you never want to be in a 1v6 position, you still don't attack in the exact same position as your team. So your team will be on the front. Tracer, you're looking for a point to come in from the side, from the back, somewhere where you can get onto their supports, take them out, or other high-value targets, whilst your team is distracting everybody else at the front.
And welcome to Kings Row. We will be moving straight into the second map here. I do love the fact that we're doing that, because I love getting straight into the action. Kings Row, very near and dear to our hearts, I think, being the London map.
Yeah, it's London. There we go, Kings Row. In fact, somebody before thought I'd flown out of Kings Row when we landed here. I believe it was Cypher. Thought I'd said I'd flown from Kings Row.
The Kings Row, a lovely map. It's one of my favorites. It's considered the Dust 2 of Overwatch. It's been the standard map since basically the dawn of time in Overwatch as well. It's a map that most teams are familiar with. It's a map that's been in the game since the very start, and it's probably the team's favorite map to play on. Or at least most teams do love to go to this one as the very standard map going forward. It's actually kind of a grim map as well. That thing that you're seeing on the front there is actually an EMP bomb.
Yep, this bomb is going to be delivered to kill a load of Omnics who are hiding in the underground because there is so much hatred for their kind in our hometown, the capital city of our home country. So that obviously makes us very proud that there is such hatred there. If you play as Junkrat on the attacking side, I believe he's got a voice line where he's dancing about the place and very excited.
He's very happy that he's being paid to blow up a bunch of bots, I believe is the line. So he's very, very happy to be taking part in that. But we are going to be set up very soon after this introduction map as the teams do load in to Kings Row. And it's going to be curious to see, they look so decisive, Numlock's team, on taking that first offensive. They look so much more coordinated on the defense. They look prepared to do what their roles needed them to do. Carnifex's team looking a bit more distracted, and they've got to assault a point here as well. They've got to take that first point. If they get full held here, that's going to be really demoralizing for Carnifex.
Oh, definitely. In fact, that might be no return. If they do get full hold, they're going to have to full hold themselves, which is always not something you want to be going into. But let's see whether they're attacking or defending first.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see who got first pick and what they decided to go for. And the teams are already set up here in the wonderful, very saturated Kings Row. Very, very saturated King's Row here in
Those colours.
wonderful London. It looks like Numlocked team is defending first, so if they do get the full hold, it's going to be feeling great for them, and it looks like they're running a fairly standard defensive lineup here, although they do have Bob on that Soldier 76, for example. Numlocked taking the Zarya once more, Time Skipper on the Lucio, Kabak on Reinhardt, Jane taking the Mei again, and O-Killed on the Anna.
That's right, and on the attacking side, we have Pepper on Anna, Crystal Gecko on Zarya, Lightfenner on Reinhardt, 14 on Soldier, 13 on Lucio, and Carnifex is back onto that Reaper that he did so well on at the start of the first round.
So now they have to be super careful. Most teams actually these days don't opt to go through there. That's exactly why, though the Mei wall isn't quite complete. There's enough space for them to sneak through. It looks like they're going to sneak around onto the high ground as well. Lightfenner just providing that barrier for the rest of his team just to get into that back alley, though no, they're starting to contest a fountain. 14 overextends a little bit. Numlocked spots it out immediately, and this is just open things up immediately. Even Kabak getting in there with a few good swings. Carnifex forced to run away. Everyone goes down. Huge advantage right now for Numlocked team, for the grey team at the moment, as people are stuck now in this back alley. That's going to stagger their spawns if they go down, and it looks like they're going to go down in good time here. Numlocked just having the easiest time of it. Bob picking up millions of kills. Well played there by Bob as well. Lightfenner just goes straight back in. Oh no, he's going to get cleaned up once more. This is going to give huge amounts of ultimate advantage to the grey team at the moment. And oh no, 14, well no, that's 13 gets taken out once more. Numlocked with the cheeky spray. I love that razzle dazzle.
I do love a bit of razzle dazzle. That all went wrong when 14 massively overstepped, put himself way out of position, and just blew the gates wide open for Team Numlocked to plough their way in and just destroy the team.
And now look at the ultimate advantage. I mean, Anna is ready to go because she's Anna, so of course she's always ready to go because that's how Anna works. But Numlocked is ready to go. He's catched the whole team. There goes Urshad as well, just catches everyone. Kabak's going to be having a whale of a time swinging in. Everyone picking up tons and tons of kills there. Even Bob uses ultimate there. I think that's a little bit overkill, but Bob didn't.
Hey,
but
look,
Bob's just taking part.
If you're Bob and everyone else is in there killing everybody in the giant graviton surge, you want to get involved. If I was Bob, I'd be popping my ultimate too. I'd say sorry afterwards, but I'd do it.
Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Well played, Bob. You've killed a lot of people. The healer's rocket actually in a graviton surge does so much damage, but now it's just looking real difficult right now. Jane's just spamming damage into that barrier. There goes the nano boost, though. Carnifex going in with that nano boost. Can he find the kills he needs, though? He's getting sort of caught out there by the Mei. Doesn't have his ultimate quite yet either. There's a good charge, though, so Lightfenner does pick up the enemy Reinhardt as well. Bob's getting hunted down. Poor Bob. There goes the Death Boston. Can he get anything? No! Sound barrier comes up, saves everyone just in time, and that might be enough. Blizzard also on the points of picking everyone up. Numlocked is just free to cut everyone down, and this looks like the defense is going to hold once more.
It almost looked like Carnifex was going to push through there with his team, but sadly for them, the Mei ultimate came out at the end, the Blizzard, just to slow everybody down and allow Numlocked's team to clean up the attacking side. And once again, Carnifex's team is going to have to reset and try again.
Yeah, and Carnifex now going to be without his ultimate for a little while. Crystal Gecko is going to be ready, however, with the Graviton Surge, but they have nothing really to follow up with that aside from this Reinhardt. And they've actually moved off the Anna. They're on a single support right now as Pepper is on the Winston. Pepper jumping straight into the middle there, gets frozen immediately, goes down very quickly. There's a Graviton Surge, there's the Urshad coming out. That's actually the offensive Graviton Surge. It looks like they've done it. It looks like that was actually enough to catch everyone out of position. Pepper managing to draw everyone in. Graviton Surge picking everything up, and then they just killed absolutely everything and took everyone down. Wow, that was actually, like, I doubt that was intentional, but that was actually amazing bait.
That was a huge turnaround for Carnifex team. That was exactly what they needed. That moral boost should get them right back mentally into this game. And as you can see, Carnifex is pushing forward to see if he can get anything done.
And just lingering there on the side, maybe trying to get a cheeky flank off, but Pepper is there as well. Mei's trying to hunt him down. Mei's got to be a little bit careful, but of course Reaper can just reform, Wraithform out. There's the Turbo Steam coming out. Numlocked just getting so much damage in, gets the kills on everything, but Bob has cleaned up once again with the Tactical Visor into the Graviton Surge. Just killed absolutely everyone. Bob all over the kill for you right now. Well played, Bob. You've absolutely murdered everyone with Soldier 76 there, getting a ton of work done with that assault rifle. Really nice to see coming out there. The question is, where is the counter-attack going to come from? Carnifex is going to be ready with the Graviton Surge. There's a charge coming through, but he had the barrier up. It's going to be nice to save. Can Numlocked survive this? Yes, he will. Kills down Lightfenner as well. It's even more value. Carnifex coming in with the Death Blossom. Doesn't get the value he needs off it, though. Only gets a single kill on poor Bob, and Jane is going to be ready, waiting with this Blizzard. If you are the red team at the moment, I imagine you want to back up, but no, they're just keeping the engage going. 4-13 does just actually manage to survive that freeze at the moment. Numlocked getting the better of Carnifex, and things just going bad for the red team. They just keep running in to this fight. They're just keeping it going and going and going, but they're not getting any results, and it's just building up the ultimates of the blue team at the moment.
If you're the blue team, do you really want to be pushed this far forward? I mean, I know they're holding them back, but if they get one wipe, it's going to allow the red team to gain so much ground. That is a huge Graviton Surge from Numlocked. but they don't get much off of it.
They get one kill and get a lot of damage out of it, and it's just enough to split up the team. Crystal Gecko goes down next, and the thing is, if they do start to feel pressured, if they do start to feel worried, they can just back off a little bit through that choke point. Jane throws down the Blizzard, and the Blizzard in that choke is devastating, and I think also they're feeling confident right now. They have 4 ultimates ready. They're going to have 5 very soon, I imagine, if Bob just keeps shelling out all this damage that he's been doing so far. And they're just going to try and maintain this advantage for as long as possible. But I also think that they're trying to bait Carnifex into making aggressive decisions, and it feels like the red team is very, very aggressive. They've been playing aggro. Kabak gets an Anubis, but no, Lifeender says no more, and actually managed to get the charge on Numlocked. Numlocked goes down very early. Kabak can't quite find the damage he needs. There's a Blizzard, but no one's really stuck in it at the moment. I hear Bob going off with that visor. No, that was 14 going off with the visor. 14 does actually manage to get picked up there by the Mei. Mei trying to deal as much damage as she can, but she's a bit isolated at the moment. Will go down very soon. And there she goes. And the red team finally now breaking that choke point. A couple of the ultimates didn't quite work out for Numlocked's team there. Didn't quite get the results they want, but I've got to say, Lifeender with the clutch Earth Shatter, the clutch charge, getting rid of Numlocked, stopping that nano booster Reinhardt from doing anything. Well played by him.
Definitely very well played, and they're going to be able to get a lot of ground on this payload right here, but of course the Numlocked team are going to be able to come back to hold before the checkpoint. There's a little poking going backwards and forwards, so let's see if they can take this checkpoint and keep that payload rolling.
Yeah, and we do see a swap of Anna onto Mercy as well. I believe that was an Anna before, so interesting to see that coming out. Mercy, good solid defensive picks. The team does engage. Kabak gets a good Ursula there. This poor Zarya goes down. Carnifex coming in, does actually manage to take out O'Kill. O'Kill dash through the Death Blossom. I've been there so many times myself as Mercy. Carnifex just cleaning up, picks up a triple kill for himself in that fight, I believe, and well done by him. His payload will advance through the second fight. So it's looking really dire for a moment there, but they have seized initiative. They have taken it over, and they're doing it with a single support. They're doing it with this one support, so clearly team more comfortable on these tanky and defensive DPS-y roles.
Absolutely. Team Carnifex pain train is in full motion, and let's see if they can use this to roll it out to the end, or can Numlocked and his boys hold them back.
Bob going in for the flank does find the enemy soldier. 76 has to be a little bit careful. There's a dude juke back and forth. Bob looking like he's going to get the better of it at the moment. The enemy soldier so low, 14 just juking, jiving. He's so low, and Hitboy's down he goes. Bob has seized advantage. Lucio fell off the map, unfortunately. There is a beautiful graviton surge, though, keeps everyone into it at the moment. Winston going in, getting a lot of damage. Crystal Gecko gets rid of the Mei as well. That's a huge loss for them. Mei so near that ultimate Blizzard, so pivotal for the defending team, but Bob still coming in from the flank. No one stopped Bob at the moment. I believe Bob uses tactical visor. Didn't get too much off the back of it this time. Does get rid of Crystal Gecko. Carnifex now stuck on the point. Will get taken down by Numlocked there once more, and still tons and tons of damage coming out from this team, and this is where it gets dangerous. If you do start trickling in here, the defensive team reinforces so much faster, and you do just start building up their ultimate, so you've got to be a little bit careful. That said, Lifeender seems to be having a good time back on the point, but we do see Numlocked dealing with 14. There's a Blizzard coming out from earlier, and that should secure the point for the blue team, for Numlocked team at the moment.
That was a huge flank there from Bob, coming up from behind. Nobody was expecting it. He must have been behind the team for a long time, because he had his little one-to-one duel with the enemy soldier, and I think he stayed behind the enemy from that point forward, and I guess they just forgot about him, because he came back from out of nowhere and just saved the day there. Good
and
job,
that traitor spam, oh dear, 14 going down a little bit early there, unfortunately. That's so dangerous when you're doing that, when your team is trying to regroup. If you do try and trade back and forth against a Mei, especially, you can just spam those right clicks. It can get so deadly so quickly, and when you're down a team member, it becomes really hard to push in. That said, Pepper just goes straight in. Numlocked looking for the graviton surge. It looks like they're going to try and clean up Pepper. Can O'Kill survive that a little bit longer? O'Kill goes down, actually 14 getting a lot of damage there. The Mei wall actually blocking up most of Numlocked's team at the moment, but they are getting around Numlocked dealing a lot of damage, but the healing from Soldier and Lucio just keeping everyone alive. That said, it's looking actually really good for the red team at the moment, and they have more players alive. Carnifex getting a ton of damage done on the point. I believe he used Death Blossom there. The point is running forward, and they have managed to take it all the way to the end. Slow time, it was in overtime, 0-0 on the clock, but they made it to the end, and that is what matters.
Yep, they've made it to the end, and so it is the slow time, like you said, so we'll have to see what Numlocked and his boys can do. They might be able to push this all the way to the end as well, and if they do, and if they do it in a good time, they're going to have a considerable advantage going into round 3.
Actually, I'm not sure. If they push it before they hit overtime, don't they win?
Ah, that is very true, yeah. If they push it before they hit overtime, they will
win.
Victory.
Otherwise, they will get 1 minute per side, I do believe. So Numlocked's team has set themselves up quite nicely, the blue team here on attack. They are technically the grey team, but you know, it's easier for us to call it by the pros name, I think, rather than say referring to the grey team, which you guys have no context for unless you saw them earlier. So it is Numlocked team versus Carnifex's team. It's just easier for us and easier for you guys to understand going forward. And I've got to admit, like I think a couple of people have noticed it, but I have a slight bias towards Bob. And that's primarily because I like saying his name.
Hey, Bob's great. He's got a great name, and he had some great plays there, I have to say. Bob did good, and we're always proud of people called Bob because it's a good, solid British name, and he's on Numlocked's team, so it all works out.
What I liked seeing out of Bob was the fact that he was using that Soldier 76 very aggressively, and the thing that Soldier 76 can do is he can be aggressive. He can sort of run around and be on the flanks, and he's very difficult to remove if he does set himself up on the flanks because he has this own personal healing. He's very self-sufficient. He can fight most enemy heroes pretty well, so he's looking pretty good. And of course, the PTR, he's been buffed as well, so we might be seeing more of him in the near future.
Could very well do. Let's take a look at these teams as we've got 30 seconds left before we get into this round. We've got Jane on the Zarya. Well, Bob is now going to show us some Genji, so we'll see what we can do with that. We've got O'Killed on Ana, Timeskipper on Lucio, Numlocked is now back onto the McCree, and Kabak is on the Reinhardt.
And of course, for the defending team, we have 13 once more on the Lucio. We have Carnifex on the Reaper once more, 14 on the Soldier 76, Crystal Gecko on the May, Pepper on the Ana once more, and Lightfenner back on that Reinhardt. Lightfenner did a good job, really opened it up for his team last round as well when pushing through that sort of narrow choke point when you do have to start pushing that payload. So well played by him, but it looks like they're going to be running that Beyblade comp once more, looking to try and get that ultimate nice and early, but Numlocked instantly gets a pick on 14, does find the target there, and actually gets lifted up in the air by Crystal Gecko's wall. The wall is there, but it's split off the team, but no one's taking advantage of it. No one's really seizing the opportunity there. Numlocked just gets free reign to move around the side, starting to move forward. He's moving ahead of his Reinhardt. He's being very, very bold here, but he's just being allowed to do this. He's been given so much space. Carnifex trying to get around the flank a little bit, and there goes May as well. Does eat all of that fan. The hammer will go down nice and early, and this is looking super good right now for Numlocked's team.
Oh yeah, full team was once again really out of position, which blew it wide open for Numlocked's team to push in and get advantage on this point. And then Numlocked's McCree has just been taking people out left, right and centre, and they've got onto the objective.
Carnifex getting the better of Numlocked for a moment there, but then instantly gets exploded by Jane on that Zarya. Numlocked actually ready to go with the ultimate, and I do believe he's already respawned, but he should be able to join his team before they actually manage to cut the point. So no real spawn delay there as well, as they will be able to start pushing this payload immediately, and they have ultimate advantage going into the next fight as well. Bob ranging forward, landing all the poke damage he needs to as well, just keeping the enemy team pinned back, making sure that he can't sort of get picked off once more. And we do see 14 actually trying to do what Bob was doing last time, ranging around that flank. We have Bob dueling against 14. Bob's actually super low at the moment, does use that reflect just to keep himself alive, does try to escape a little bit, but will try and back off, will try and stay alive. He's super low, actually manages to dash and survive!
He gets out, the legend!
We do see also Carnifex swapping off that Reaper and moving on to that, oh no.
Numlocked, can you finish him?
Numlocked, be gentle. These poor guys, they met Numlocked in the back alley and it did not go well for them, unfortunately. But yeah, Carnifex picking up the McCree there, so a little bit more flexible. Reinhardt barrier does get broken with the May wall. That's such a good wall, just deny it. Does manage to sit through, but doesn't actually get the damage he needs out of that. And Lightfenner managing to get the wall back up, but it doesn't matter. Numlock's just charged in him, just finishing the job himself. The rest of his team backing up. They're cleaning up and making excellent time right now. We see desperation changes coming out here for Carnifex's team. The red team, Carnifex swapping onto the Genji and 14. Going onto the Bastion, instantly picked off or overextended by Numlocked. Numlocked having none of it, just cleaning up left, right, and centre right now.
Well, full team was there. He thought, you know what this game needs? It needs Bastion, but unfortunately he went a little bit too far forward on his own. Thought he had the support of his Lucio, but Lucio and the Bastion go down, and that just leaves Numlocked's team easy time to push this payload forward.
Yeah, they've definitely taken advantage of that sort of that opening that was created. They've already started ranging forward, already started pushing forward and getting set up to go. What can Carnifex do? Actually, Bob does get picked off by 14 there in the back, so Bob overextending a little bit. He does like to try and find those flanks, does Bob, and I think he just overextended a little. 14 getting the better of him there. This Bastion actually could be a little bit of a pain to push into as well. Bastion very good at breaking barriers. Barriers gone down. There's the nano boosted Reinhardt going in. Everyone's stuck in the blizzard as well. This should be an easy cleanup right now for Carnifex's team. Carnifex gets a double kill himself, but Lightfenner just swinging left, right, and center. Cleans up there. Carnifex also just getting all the damage he needs to out of that Genji. Carnifex just going to go in, not even going to give Bob the time of day. I think Pepper just snagged the final kill there. Well played out of them. It's good to see, like, that's going to feel really good for them because they've just been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It feels good when you actually get that first.
It's so demoralizing when that's happening, when this snowball's happening. Everybody knows if you're playing this in solo queue, your team's already given up by this point. But these guys are in it to win it. They're not going to give up, and they have one big successful hold, and let's see if they can keep that going.
Jane with the Graviton Surge, this could be a huge opening. Also, here comes the Dragon Blade. He's just got to swing it through. Numlocked picks up a triple kill during that as well. So we had Dragon Blade come out, we have McCree's ultimate. It was High Noon coming out as well. McCree and Bob combining their DPS and just killing absolutely everything. And now the end is in sight, and they still have 4 minutes 20 to do it as well. So much space for them to actually be able to try and hold it. OW13 trying to hold on that little bit longer. Light Fever just coming out as well, just to try and stall this, but they still have so much time. There's another nano boost. Actually, Kabak getting stuck in a Junkrat trap as well, so stalling him for a little bit longer. Kabak trying to chase this Junkrat down, but meanwhile, we actually have Crystal, the May coming out, just stalling that little bit longer. Crystal Gecko doing a good job buying time, and actually has enough time for a Blizzard to come out. This might stall them even more. And it looks like they've actually managed to hold it.
Wow, when that Lucio came out, stood in front of them and had a little bit of a dance before falling over, I thought that was it. But they do manage to hold it, at least for some time here. Let's see if they can hold it. It doesn't look like everyone going down. Full team manages to get the kill on Kabak. But this fight is still going on.
This is where the reinforcements really do start to matter, though. Carnifex now coming out with a Dragon Blade, trying to hunt down targets. Got a quick kill on Numlocked as well, but the reinforced distance is so much shorter for that defending team that they can just reinforce them that much quicker. Carnifex coming out with a bunch of DPS players, do finally clean up, but there's still 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. They have so much time to just build up slowly, build up some ultimates, and then just clean everything up on the back of it. So going to be curious to see what comes out here. We did see Numlocked swap on that Tracer, trying to get to the point that a little bit faster. He's gone back to the McCree. Don't blame him. Jane is going to be the big one to watch in this next fight. Jane is ready to go with the Graviton Surge, and they have so many options just to finish everything off with the back of that.
Yeah, we shall see what happens. We've even got a Junkrat out here with a trap set up. We'll see if anybody walks into it in just a moment. What do you think of the Junkrat pick here?
It's an interesting one. It's definitely not one you'd see often, but when you're not playing against pro-level players, you can sort of bring anything to the fore here. And it's also going to provide them with a huge amount of spam, trying to get rid of this Reinhardt barrier nice and quickly. And that's all going to be very, very important there. We also had 14 going off there with the I got you in my sights. So sights came up for the Soul 76 there. It did buy them even more time and space, and that's what they really need at the moment. Time is just a huge factor here, and time is really going to be what matters, because it's still 2 minutes 35 up from the clock. But you got to remember, for a while ago, like, they spent a minute just waiting to push this, but there goes the Graviton Surge. Blizzard's going to try and buy them actually a little bit more space. The Blizzard actually doing a really good job there, and actually does stop Numlocked getting a lot of the easy kills there, and actually that's going to allow Carnifex to start cleaning up. Kabak, though, gets a good double kill off the back there. Can they finish this off? Carnifex coming out with a Dragon Blade. What can he find is the big question here. Trying to hunt down one, does get rid of one, will start slashing up the second. Got to be careful, though. It's a Reinhardt. He does start swinging away. Reinhardt's melee weapon is pretty damn good, but no, Carnifex cleaning up and buying his team even more opportunity to stay alive in this tournament.
That was a great successful hold there for Carnifex's team. The key being that May Blizzard right at the start of the fight, which saved them. Numlocked was not able to get too many kills off of the back of the Graviton Surge, which really looked like it could have been game over for Carnifex's team. But now there is 1 minute and 50 left on the clock for Numlocked to win this game and win the
quarterfinal. Yeah, to the semi-finals for him. And Bob is ready to go with the Dragon Blade now. They don't have any real backup odds for that unless Kabak gets a good few swings in. But it looks like they're going to go in with Numlocked actually on the Winston. So Numlocked actually picking the Winston up here. That's actually going to give them a lot of opportunity, though, because the Winston plus Genji combo, Winston can deal enough damage that Genji can just start finishing them off. But no, Pepper says no. Traps. Poor Bob in a trap there, and will have enough space to clean up. But it looks like the rest of the team just doing enough damage. Numlocked is cleaning everything up in the back there with that Winston. They're starting to advance to the point. Carnifex trying to buy what time he can, but I think this might be it. We do actually have, yeah, that's the Lucio just juking back and forth.
Did wonder what was stalling the payload there.
And he's still alive. He's actually managed to use the sound barrier. He's stalling up for more time. That's bought time for his team to actually come out and reinforce.
We got an Earth Shatter.
There's the Earth Shatter there. That should be able to clean up. That's a really decisive move in, just being able to clean up at this point. But there's still people like stopping it. They've actually managed to reinforce fast enough. O'Kill, though, gets a big res. Can they clean up at the back of that? As Reinforce 2 starts streaming in. Light just lands that. Beautiful, beautiful Earth Shatter. They're dealing so much damage. Here comes Numlocked on the Winston, just stalling with Carnifex there. Carnifex actually can't out DPS this Winston, unfortunately. There's a Graviton Surge, and they're still stalling. They're still alive in this 30 seconds left, but no, they moved everyone off the point and managed to take it. 40 seconds remaining. That was actually an impressive hold there by Carnifex's team.
That was. They almost turned it around. Very exciting at the end. And I would like to say that the Junkrat pick there shut down Bob. Every time that Genji went in,
you got to remember there was the change not that long ago to Junkrat's traps, where if you try and dash through them.
Oh, we are playing it out. Okay, we were wrong about that before. So if you do go...
Yeah, so you do get that extra minute time, so we will be playing it through that second round, but we're literally in the same situation we were in earlier. 1 minute 39, exactly.
Wow, this is exactly the same.
So with that 1 minute time, you have one really good engage, I say, and then you have a second follow-up engage that's probably not going to be perfect. You're not going to have all the time in the world to sort of get into good positions. You're going to have to rush it slightly, and then try and take that payload, take that position first time, basically. It's going to be very hard to build up ultimates during that time, and with 1 minute 39, that is enough time to start generating these ultimates, start generating that advantage. So a huge advantage right now to Numlocked's team. The question is, can they take the first point? And when you take the first point, you've got to try and snowball it as much as possible to try and push it through as far as possible through those streets and get an advantage that way.
Definitely. On the defending side, we've got our friend Bob back on the Soldier. Numlocked has switched himself over to Zarya, or staying with the Zarya, I should say. He's not playing the McCree right now. We've got Jane on May, Okill on Mercy, Time Skipper on Lucio, and Carnifex sticking with his Reinhardt.
And meanwhile, for the offensive, we have 14 back on the Soldier 76, 13 on the Lucio, Lightfenner on the Anna, Pepper on the Winston. Carnifex taking up McCree this time, and Crystal Gecko going for the Genji. So very carry-oriented team, but Pepper takes an absolute boatload of damage. They're coming out of spawn. 14 also eating a lot of hurt. They're actually defending this from a very aggressive position as well, just staying very far forward. Kabak's shield already going down there. Zarya building up a lot of charge already. I think it's actually Kabak's at about between 500 and 1,000. Down goes his barrier. Now this is an opportunity, but Bob gets the better of 14. His counterpart on Soldier 76. Pepper goes in though, going right for the back line, trying to hunt down this Mercy. Mercy's running for her life, does find the health in the hotel. Won't quite get picked off at the back here. And Jane actually has a lot of free reign in this tight space. Can deal a lot of damage. The rest of the team just starts cleaning up their advantage straight to Numlocked team.
Yep, straight to Numlocked there. The Winston went in a little bit too early. The May wall was still up, and his team couldn't follow up, so he pretty much just went in 1v6 and got taken out easily, and then the rest of the team was cleaned up behind him.
And Numlocked on so much charge, and I've got to point out Bob is ready to go with attack visor. Bob dropping dangerously low, but starts getting in the better of people. Bob's still in position. Bob hopefully going to start getting a lot of kills here. You might as well just use the attack visor. Actually going for Carnifex, just goes right against him, and will get the kill there. Poor Pepper tries to get onto the point here with the Winston, but will just get isolated and killed. Graviton Surge just holding everyone back, and that is a hold there. Now they have 1 minute 39 to try and take this point. If they don't take the point, it's a draw, and with a draw, I have no idea what the rules we're using for the draw is, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that.
We will have to wait and see what happens if we get a draw. And I'm quite excited to see if they can take it. I mean, my money's on Numlocked's team.
I think they can definitely pull this off. I mean, like, let's be fair here, okay? So the people who are on these teams, you know, aside from Numlocked and Carnifex, have been pulled from the show floor. They are just taking part of this sort of out of their own volition, so hopefully you guys aren't too harsh on them. As I think OW13 and OW14, for example, haven't played too much Overwatch before, might not be too experienced with it, might not be too experienced with the PC version, for example. So definitely, you know, it's an interesting idea where you're taking these new and unexperienced players and putting them against Numlocked.
Oh, what I would imagine is, since they've got these OW 13 and 14, these are tournament accounts they've been given. They're perhaps console players that aren't used to playing with a mouse and keyboard. They're used to the pad, which admittedly is not as accurate as a mouse and keyboard, but if you're used to the pad and you're not used to the mouse and keyboard, it's going to be very difficult for you to play on this setup.
But meanwhile, we do see Bob's team getting set up. It's no longer Numlocked's team, it's Bob's team now. We do see Kabak on the Reinhardt, Jane on the Zarya, Bob on the Genji, Time Skipper on the Lucio, Okill on Anna, and Numlocked once more on that McCree.
Right, and over on Carnifex's team, we got Lightfenner sticking with his Reinhardt. Crystal Gecko is on the Roadhog. We got 13 on the Lucio. Carnifex is on the Genji, Pepper on the Junkrat, and 14 on the Soldier.
Now, I imagine when they see this Junkrat and Numlocked, it's probably thinking, man, I wish I was playing Zarya, because Zarya can build up tons and tons of charge. Of course, Jane on that Zarya, and actually this is the approach that most pro teams do actually like to take. They go through the cinema and try and post that advantage very early and try to isolate people in the back alley, and Numlocked instantly getting the better of 14, but Numlocked actually goes down there. Crystal Gecko finding the hook, gets rid of Numlocked nice and early, and that's actually a real big advantage here. Numlocked definitely a scary player. Crystal Gecko lands another hook, gets rid of Bob, so the two star players from Numlocked's team going down. Bob and Numlocked are dead and won't be part of this Time Skipper. Just try and get out of there, man. You're Lucio stuck on your own. Move, music man. There you go. He's actually managed to escape and stayed alive. And that poor Reinhardt actually stuck out of position here. So it might be a bit isolated there. You can see him swinging away there in the back, and does go down to Bob, but Pepper, meanwhile, does pick up the kill on Lucio. They're actually struggling to sort of regroup and try and get together. Like, the fight is just spread out all over the place, but Crystal Gecko doing such a good job here on this Roadhog.
Absolutely. The star players on Numlocked's team going down so early in that fight meant it was likely to be a hold, but this fight just continues.
Oh no, he just threw the flashbang just a touch too early, trying to land the shot. Carnifex lands the headshot with an Anubis. That's a one shot, one kill there for McCree. And this should be massive advantage to Numlocked team. They reinforce a lot quicker here, so any deaths, if you do start trading, definitely goes into your advantage here. They still have 30 seconds to reinforce as well, so they will be able to get on this point. This poor Reinhardt stuck on his own, tries to charge. Might as well, because you're getting surrounded. Doesn't find Numlocked, unfortunately, and they will be able to start to take this point. It's looking really dangerous right now. We do hear Carnifex going off with a Dragon Blade. Will try and hunt down Bob. There's a counter Dragon Blade drawn, but doesn't actually manage to even get it out of his sheath. Carnifex just cutting him down, does actually reflect Numlocked's ultimate back at him, but doesn't get the kill. Numlocked still alive, still finding targets. Can he find the Tracer? Tracer still buying time for as long as possible. Manages to land. The flashbang takes him down, and I think this is it. I think Numlocked's team have done it and have secured themselves a spot in the semi-final.
Absolutely. Some great play from Numlocked right there at the end to secure the point for his team, and they take it 2-0, and they'll be moving on to the semi-final.
Well played there by Numlocked and his team. Very, very well played there. And well played by Bob as well. I really hope Bob gets player of the game. That's my secret hope.
Well, he's our MVP, whether he gets player of the game or not.
Just for having the best name out of everyone.
He did make the mistake of drawing a Genji sword into an already drawn Genji sword, which never works out well for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Carnifex had other ideas here. Is Numlocked just cleaning everyone up, and I think this is where everyone just decided, you know what, everyone else is using their ultimates. I might as well, and just clean up the entire team there. Numlocked dealing a lot of damage. Putting down the kid as well, just as a little bit of razzle-dazzle. Well played there by Numlocked's team. They will advance to the semi-finals here. Although, of course, Carnifex's team, even though they're out today, we will be running tournaments not only today, but tomorrow and the day after as well. These pros taking part in 3 separate tournaments every single day with random people from the Lucca Comics and Games Convention.
Absolutely. A good show of dominance there by Numlocked's team, absolutely showing that they were the stronger team there in every game that they played there. Although it did almost look like Carnifex's team were going to hold at the last checkpoint of round 2, but sadly they could not, and Numlocked's team managed to take it home. Now we're going to get some